Hi everyone! I decided to do 2 readings today. So my name is Paulina. Thanks for tuning into my tarot channel. I also put the same content on YouTube if you prefer YouTube. It is a little bit of an easier app because you can keep the app open while doing other things, and TikTok, I don't think you really can do that. So if you want to find me there, you can. I also have Instagram where I post my artwork and sometimes photography, poetry, and a variety of other things, but it's mostly artwork. Anyway, I want to share another reading with you today, and this is about someone who wants to communicate with you but feels like they can't, like there's like a block in the communication. And it's related, picking up off the last reading I did, which was about forgiveness. And I don't know if I've ever told you, well, if you've never been here before, how would you know? But I have a specific process to how I do readings, and that is basically filtering images, signs, messages, synchronicities throughout the day. And the ones that stick out, or perhaps several days or weeks, could be patterns, it could be symbols or oddities or a variety of things. I take note of these in my head, and then the ones that make meaning for me, it could be also be imagery, or just like sometimes I have like visions, visualizations. I have other psychic skills that I'm not going to get into because I don't want to freak you out and make you leave. Think I'm like psychotic. I'm not. I've been it's been confirmed by psychological professionals or psychiatric professionals that I am just a sensitive individual. Anyway, so this is 2 decks. It's a Santa Muerte deck and the Vision Quest tarot deck, and they're hopelessly intermingled, and I don't know if I will disconnect them at this point. And I think I've lost some of the cards from each deck, so, because that's just kind of the person I am. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so this is about someone who wants to speak to you. They have a lot of things to say to you, and I'm going to just try to channel and just directly speak literally from their voice. I may even sound different or look or behave different while I do this reading, because I truly believe that I'm a channel and medium. This person is not dead though, and they have some things they want to say. I don't know what the dynamic of the relationship is. I'm just going to let it come forward in what is said. Okay. And I may speak as the person at times and then go back to myself. Okay, so right away I'm seeing images of clouds. Maybe this person, and then I thought of this artist, I think his name is it Friedrich Church? You know, maybe it's not him. There's an artist who did a series of clouds. I think it was in the maybe late 1800s, early 1900s. Maybe you felt like you were on cloud 9 with this person, or they felt like that with you, but you didn't know. Also clouds, maybe there was a cloud of gloom, but also you know how when you sit in like a clouds, you say like, oh, that cloud looks like that and that looks like that. I think that you both were doing that like with the world, with each other. You were like, this is how I feel, this is how it is for me, and as if the world were that cloud, and you're saying, look at that cloud, it looks like a bunny, and the other one's like, oh, well, it looks like this to me. Rorschach tests, I don't know if you've ever heard of those, like the ink blot test. I'm going to try to speak louder because my heater is loud because it's hot. It's cold. I prefer to do these in a contained space where I can't be interrupted by any other energies, including not my car. But so clouds, I think that this person also fantasized about you, about, like, they also may have had a fantasy about who they thought you were, and then I stutter sometimes when I channel. Then they felt like disillusioned, but also they realized that they had cloudy thinking, and now as time has gone by, they see that they were not adequate for what you needed. They were not, there's a clip of James Taylor talking about Carly Simon. It's coming to mind. And they're a famous couple of singers, from folk singers from the 60s and 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And now, like, they're both really famous still. But, like, I would say that, so sorry, just quick get into that dynamic astrologically. I had watched some interview where James Taylor said he wasn't fit to be a father or a husband because he was a heroin addict. And as many people know, people who are Pisces or have the 12th house or Neptune or Pisces strong placements may struggle with addiction, but also maybe gifted musically specifically and poetically and just artistically, creatively. But they may struggle with that, similar to Kurt Cobain was a Pisces. Struggle with that idealism, and then like want to see that everywhere, and then want to escape. This could also be someone who has like Pisces decan of one of the water signs. Anyway, and then the other person is a Cancer. So sorry, I'm back. Anyway, so Cancer. So Cancer is Carly Simon in the dynamic, and she's the woman who sang the "You're So Vain" song. For context, if you want to know who she is, it's like that famous "You're So Vain." That song is not about James Taylor, anyway. But like, they also sang some great songs together in the 60s, I think the 70s actually at that point, when they were married. One good one was you can close your eyes, I think, if you want to Google that or look on YouTube. There's a really good version of them singing it at their home in Martha's Vineyard, acoustic. And anyway, so excuse me. James Taylor, they broke up because they had 2 kids, but he was like absent. The kids talked about how he would leave and like for a month or 2 at a time just to write songs, and then he would be on the road. Obviously Pisces needs a lot of isolation, but they can also be people who mingle with the environment. And they're also very up and down, all over personality. They're really can be unpredictable. So Carly Simon is a Cancer, so she loves the predictability, the stability. She's a cardinal sign with the mutable sign, who is the Pisces. So she wants to lead, and he's basically like, I don't like follow, I communicate. And Cancer doesn't like that because they want to have some like ownership, similar to Scorpio, and some possession and some leadership and when Pisces won't follow their maternal caring leadership or be energized for life, when Pisces is like, I'm literally asleep, which some of them can sleep a lot, it can cause a negative dynamic where Cancer becomes like sort of a dictator, and then Pisces is like, I'm a victim, Pisces escapes and leaves. And so Cancer then can become like, have these pinchers that hurt people, similar to the stinger of the It's like an early primitive version of the Scorpio with the stinger. But I don't know why I'm talking about this dynamic, but obviously she was wounded emotionally by his drug use and emotional unavailability and absence, is how I would say it, because they're both in their feelings, Cancer and Scorpio, but Cancer is about me and my feelings, and Pisces is about our feelings. It's like Pisces is like, I can't stop feeling everyone's feelings, and I don't know who I am because I'm feeling so many feelings. Whew. And then Scorpio, it's about the you and me feelings, the feelings between the one-on-one interpersonal dynamic. Sorry, I don't know why I felt the need to say that in this reading, but your person wants you to know that they saw that maybe you are a water sign, or maybe this person has some Pisces or some Scorpio in their chart, even if you don't think, even if it's not obvious in the actual chart, there may be aspects or like midpoints, or I'm obsessed with midpoints right now, sorry, other things that like show the Scorpio essence or the Pisces essence, or whatever it is. There could be some of this in this dynamic where there's evasiveness, and then there's control behavior and sort of attempt at leadership, and then someone who's like, I'm gonna mutinize this ship if you try to be a leader. Yeah. Carly Simon, I'm sorry, I am like a bit of I'm like an obsessive researcher, if you've listened to any of my tarot readings, and it can be any subject. It's like I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. But like Carly Simon has a really interesting background because she grew up, I believe, in the Bronx, and I think her grandfather was African American, and so she has a mixed heritage, but she's also Jewish, and or it could be her great grandfather, I'm not sure actually, but so I don't know, she has talked about that as how linking to her, I don't know, just her, I guess her mixed identity and her, I guess leaving New York and moving to Martha's Vineyard for her was, for a water sign, it's, you want to be near the ocean, definitely. It's soothing, especially later in life after you are 30 and you're really in your sun sign, not in your moon sign. And also for Cancer signs, where the moon sits really affects, obviously, or maybe not obviously, how the moon is, how it's expressed in the sun. So say you're, I think maybe Laura Cleary has the sun in Cancer and then the moon in Aquarius. So that, and then I think she has Mercury in Leo and some other Leo situation, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But basically it means that she's really Aquarius-like, because the moon is expressing in Aquarius and her sun is in the moon. So anyway, that gets complicated. But I think this person, I think I'm talking about, I was thinking just about how the sun and moon, so that Carly Simon dynamic and James Taylor dynamic could be something between you and her, and maybe one of you has a mixed heritage that makes you feel like you want to, maybe both of you have a really, you know, a lot of Americans today, we really have mixed heritage. I myself have a very mixed background, and so like, it's not just that though, there's a mixture of elements like water and oil, like you're like different, definitely different, like our, like signs, like you're both not like water signs, or you're like, maybe one of you is fire and one of you is water, or one of you, like, it's like a mixing of elements, but in Spanish it's called like una mezcla, but like a mixing of cultures is how they would describe like the sort of like diaspora of like of mestizo culture, which is, this is getting complicated because I myself come from Chilean and Argentine grandparents who had mixed heritage of indigenous and specifically German and Basque blood, and then my mom is Irish and some Scottish with one random Spanish relative. So it's like, what are any of us anymore? But so you also mixed together, but there was like too much mixing. Like I think you lost yourself. You lost elements of yourself in this relationship, and this person sensed that, because they sensed that subconsciously that your focus on them was not so much about them. They knew that you liked them and stuff, but they wanted to let you go to find yourself. Like Carly Simon moved from the Bronx to Martha's Vineyard and started a family with James Taylor, even though that family didn't work out. You know, Cancer sign is all about family, and being a mother specifically is very important to Cancer women. Yeah, maybe one of you has Cancer, or both of you has Cancer strong in the charts also, since it keeps coming up that those Cancer qualities. Nurturing, maybe you nurtured each other. Maybe this dynamic really, what one of you was like Carly and one of you was like James Taylor. Okay, so that would mean that one of you pick which is which. I don't know who. One of you is evasive and on drugs maybe, or like dealing with addiction. Even if you're not on drugs, you're dealing with addiction, and that is a preoccupation. You know, you have to manage it. It's like a disease. If you're gonna really take it seriously and go to AA, you have to like really be in charge of that. And then that is a thing. And then there's also or are you like Carly Simon, who's like, you know, has these festering wounds of, I guess, abandonment from the Pisces being not available, or being here and there, or not like, or like turning their leadership into a negative thing, you know, being like, wow, stop bossing me around. I just want to, like, you know, because Pisces, they can be leaders, but they lead by communicating, and Cancer leads by action. So maybe someone talked around in circles. Maybe this is a very communicative relationship. I haven't pulled any cards. I'm gonna pull some cards. Okay, we got 5 of air, fear. I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit. I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid of you. I'm hearing this person say. Let's get some more on why this person's afraid of you. 8 of earth, inner order. You screwed up my inner order. You are so full of life, and I am not. That's straight from your person again. Okay, what else about that message from the person? Okay, we got big medicine wheel. You heal me. That's beautiful. So you heal this person. Your interactions with them have majorly shifted them and caused healing. And maybe they couldn't admit that before. Maybe you thought they were helping you, but You helped them. So why did they withdraw? And if there is addiction here, what role does that play? We got the Four of Air, contemplation. You don't see the real. Me and no one does. This is from your person. So this person feels like people just see reflections of who they are, and they're spending time thinking about this dynamic and feeling lost. Okay, so Pisces is about illusion, and people who are Pisces can have many personalities, and it can really have identity crises. Maybe this person has Mars in Pisces, or just cusping even just an Aries cusping Pisces could be, have a lot of midpoints in Pisces. Anyway, so I want to get a little bit more just on this person, and I'm going to close the reading. What do they really want you to know about their behavior, about why they sort of, I'm getting that they pulled away in the end of this relationship and pulled a disappearing magic act, and you felt abandoned. You felt like an empty nest, like, and then you did have your pinchy claws, like a Cancer would when they were hurt. You were like, well, then get away from this nurturing nest I created if you're not going to follow mommy's rules. Sorry, I'm just picturing what an angry Cancer sign would say. And they could have actually done that to you also. Yeah, this could be both. This could also be both ways, like both works both ways, like ambidextrous. So you also could have had like some addiction thing, or been flaky, or abandoned them in their mind, and then you tried to come back, or you tried to talk about it, and they were like, in some way they had created a nest of safety, and they were like, get away from my safety nest that I created. Yeah, I think you're very similar people. I want to get something from this person's inner child, and then from their adult self, and then a closing message. So the inner child message from this person to you is, is this a 5? I literally can't see. It's so dark. Sorry. Yeah, 5 of Swords. Okay, they feel defeated. They feel like they can't talk to you. They feel like there's a block in communication. They feel dizzy. They feel like lost. They feel like they don't feel like this ended well for them. Their inner child doesn't feel like it did. Their inner child felt defeated, and there's a lot of, when I tune into the feelings of their inner child, I'm sensing a lot of like fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of, this person may have never felt like they fit in with a group of people, but they felt like they fit in with you. And that's really sweet, actually. So what about from their adult self? Sorry, cards are broken. I take terrible care of my decks. Okay, this says Hermit. So they're in a hermit mode. They may have like, oh, and the bear means protection. And the fire I just see as like the fire of life. And mountain I see as goals and aspirations and meditation. And the moon is about reflections and deceptions. And it relates to the sign of Cancer. So they are in a place where it's the number 9. They're in a place where they're isolated. Your absence like has put them in a hermit mode where they're like questioning and thinking about life and philosophizing and wondering and studying and also thinking about their health and their diet, their routine, their communication skills, their writing skills. They really don't like feel close to a lot of people, and there was a bond formed with you, and when you left, they haven't been able to find that with someone else. And let's get a closing message from them. Knight of Wands. I feel you. Wow, that came really quickly. I didn't even like perceive that. So they're saying, I feel you, even though there's distance between you. Because, you know, the fire, the Knight of Wands relates to the fire sign. The fire signs can really be about, like, spirituality in that sense of, like, the Big Bang. Like, what am I trying to say? The fire signs are about essence. I just want to say they are a really spiritual energy, because I think that some of the other signs, like specific, I guess the water signs are like, you know, very like spiritual and whatever, and then the earth signs are grounding, and that can be spiritual, and the air signs are intellectual, and that can be like healing for like talk therapy or something. But I'm getting that this person has spiritual lessons, like, that they want to teach you. I almost want to cry, like, and also that you taught them. And like I'm trying to find the specific wording in my head about fire signs and spirituality, but like I know that for Leo, Linda Goodman's phrase is I will. For Aries, it's I am. And I think for Sagittarius, is it I know? Or maybe I believe? I'll look that up, I could be wrong, but and then the reason I keep talking about them being spiritual, why am I saying that? Because before I was talking about the water signs with that whole dynamic that happened between you that was very watery and about emotions and some inner child stuff for both of you and some abandonment stuff, and it was like, in retrospect, it was a little bit theatrical. But the fire signs, in my mind, can be about really deep spiritual lessons that are not karmic, like, you know, Libra or Saturn. They're not emotional like the water signs. They're not intellectual. They're embodied, okay? That might sound like a earth sign thing, but they're lessons that are like being zapped, electrocuted, like setting something on fire, so that something else can emerge, or letting fire bring purity. I do believe that the fire signs have that skill to purify themselves and others with their fire. And they felt that is what the relationship did for them. Okay, so the greater energy of the relationship overall is like fire energy. Okay, it's like you guys were watery together. You were all like nah, you're hurting me, I'm gonna leave, no, I'm coming back, no, get out of here, okay. And then, but they are saying to you, like, even though like that happened and they've maybe screwed things up and they're not talking, you're not talking, like wherever you are, maybe this person's into like Reiki or like some like, I don't know, like quantum healing stuff, or even like chiropractic or acupuncture, or just some like energy healing, even just like maybe this person is just like shamanic in some way, I don't know. There's like an energy tethered thread between you, and they can feel you, like they are watching your social media, if you have social media, and if you don't post, they know like, okay, she's going through something or he's going through something. And maybe you don't have social media, but they're watching you in other ways, like maybe I'm not sure what that would be, but like maybe they know someone who knows you and they keep tabs, or maybe they like see some internet thing that you do that is not social media, that they're like Googling and seeing how you're doing with it, or I don't know, maybe you're going through some sort of like medical situation and they're like, I hope they're okay, and they're like watching. Because this person lost someone. Ooh, sorry, I just got a little migraine there that hit a nerve. And you lost someone recently. And that opened you up psychically to, this is getting a little intricate here, sorry. That opened up some, you forgave this person that died. You had some, I'm seeing you at their graveside. I'm seeing either, probably both of you lost, I don't know what the timeline is, but you more recently lost someone. And also this person has recently had some like interaction worth like, that's made them think about mortality or health. Like maybe they have kids and one of them has fallen ill with some mysterious illness, or had an accident, or some situation that needed tending to, or their partner, or they themselves, or a friend or family, or some health oriented situation has come into their life that they're looking at you now, because I'm getting that you have been going through a health situation. And we mentioned Pisces so much before. Pisces can be about mysterious illnesses and being overly absorbent of the environment, which can cause illnesses, especially infections. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot. So you have a lot of mirroring going on, and I think, yeah, recently there's been a reconnect psychically. Let's get a closing message for a closing healing message from this person. I'm gonna keep it a little bit tight here. I'm just gonna, so it's the closing healing message from this person, their feelings for you, what happened, the friend. I'm getting that this really was a deep friendship with emotional care on both sides. And I don't know if it was same sex, or as the reading has gone on, that's what I've gotten. That it may have also been romantic at times, but in its core, it was a very special, unique friendship. Okay. 8 of Water, stagnation. I'm going to try to speak as them one more time. I'm doing the laundry. So when they're doing like chores, they're like thinking about you because their mind is wandering, and they're like, you made such an impact, even if it was a short time, and it feels unresolved, and they feel like their life is boring and stagnant without like the sort of joy or energy that you brought to it. Maybe you're like really unpredictable. Maybe you're like a little bit loopy and weird and they like liked that unpredictability. Or maybe you're like really eccentric and like just, I'm getting Where's Waldo, or yes, you are very eccentric and this person is a little bit more tight-laced. Like they're also the doing laundry is symbolic, like they're so the card was I'm stagnant, but then they said I'm doing laundry. That there's symbolism here that they're cleaning, like with that purifying energy. They're aware that they hurt you on some level, and they're aware that you and also you hurt them, and they're trying to like clean up their act. And they're also probably literally doing laundry right now. So wait, sorry, I just want one last card here. Okay, so we got the Empress. Yeah, closing message is just like from this person is like gratitude. I'm just hearing the word gratitude. Like they are grateful for having met you. They see you as an Empress. And if you're a man, they see you as abundant like an Empress and appreciative of nature and fertility like an Empress. They see you as someone who's all powerful. They don't think that you need them necessarily, but you also, as time goes on and there's not, there will continue to not be contact. Do you see there's a veil over this person's face? They're going to change. You're going to change. And there's going to be another interaction here. And it's going to be from a different place. And I see the fan is also relating to air. So it's going to have evolved from that watery place of, Matt, you hurt me. Matt, get away from me. When then it was the fire of purification. And now it's going to be moving to this air place of communication and writing maybe, and fanning the flame, fanning the air, clearing the air. This person really likes talking to you. And then the final step here would, I guess, would be Earth, would be like interacting and in the physical world again, but we're not exactly there yet. So look out for a message from this person in the near future, because they do care, and you did make an impact on their heart, and you helped open their heart chakra, and they care for you. And even though I don't know if this is like romantic or platonic, but it definitely is based in a friendship element of care, which is wonderful. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. If you're interested, I do readings pre-recorded or Zoom, and it's $45 for 45 minutes. I accept payment via Cash App, Chime, or PayPal. Payment is due before the reading, and I will confirm, or as we're scheduling or confirming what kind of reading you want, please, you don't have to send your your name or anything, like your full name, but please send, if you want, your birth info, so I can add some astrology into it and some numerology. Please send a question that you have about your life, and I'll send you 1 paragraph response for free as a sort of consult. And then we can do your reading. I'll either have it sent to you within 2 days via email. You can just let me know what email you'd prefer me to send it to. And also, or we can schedule a time to do a Zoom reading. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'm wishing you blessings, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this Aquarius season, letting your freak flag fly. And it does relate to the reading a little bit, and also it's a time of realizing the need for community, but also the need to be an individual. So I hope you have a great day.